All right, everybody. Welcome on in. Hi there. My name is not Brian Good. My name is Carson Meredith. Welcome to Wave Weather Now. Brian's off today. He will be back next week. We are, of course, going to keep an eye on the wintry mix moving in as we speak. We'll talk about where things stand with that, what's ahead over the next couple of hours. We'll look ahead to, of course, more snow showers later on tonight. And then, of course, we will turn our attention to the weekend and beyond. So quite a few little nuggets that we have to cover here over the next few minutes. So let's just jump right in. Here's radar at 9:34. And all in all, this wintry mix is pretty much on schedule. And the location of this wintry mix is also on track too. Generally speaking, as we've thought all along I-65, going to see that wintry mix. See some of those pinks showing up towards Orange County, Washington County, Indiana, little purples as well. So that kind of indicates that sleet, maybe some freezing rain in there with those temperatures still hovering near that freezing mark. And further to the north and east, we've got mostly snow that is accumulating, especially up into northern Kentucky near Cincinnati. So all in all, things are on track. This really is not alert day worthy at this point because this is a quick hitting system that is not going to impact everybody. Some of you won't even see a drop of anything over the next 3 hours. You're not going to see any freezing rain, sleet, snow, whatever it might be. This is mainly an issue for kind of the northeastern half of our area. So if you live on this side of that yellow line, you'll need to pay attention at least over the next 3 hours probably. So we'll zoom in tighter and talk about what we're seeing where. And of course, Wavy will chime in from time to time at the bottom of our stream here with updates on what kind of precipitation we're seeing in parts of southern Indiana, mainly for now. But you notice across northern Orange County, much of Washington County, seeing that pink, which is either freezing rain or sleet. It's trying to figure out exactly what. It might be more of a freezing rain at this point because we've got a warm front moving in. I'll show you the big picture in a second. So it's a bit of a mix over Salem into western Clark County too. Borden, near Memphis, Henryville, kind of seeing that mixture. Same story goes up near Freetown and Seymour, Millport, all in Jackson County. And out towards Bedford too, a little bit of sleet it looks like mixing in. Further to the east, this is all snow. Jennings County, Indiana. Where's our friends in North Vernon? You guys probably seeing some snow. Let me know in the comments. Much of Jefferson County, Indiana. Seeing that snow, Madison, Canaan along Highway 421. And that snow is starting to make its way into Scott and Clark County, eastern Clark County, near Charlestown, up towards Maryville as well. Scottsburg seeing some snow. And all of this is going to keep on sliding to the south and east over the next 2 to 3 hours. So here in Louisville, I would expect to start seeing some of that mix probably just after 10 o'clock. Or right around the top of the hour here in the next 23 minutes or so. The main issues with this will be to the north and east of the city. So if you're seeing this all snow, there might be enough of accumulations to cause a few new slick spots. So we'll monitor that. Doesn't look to be a widespread issue, but there could be a few trouble spots to develop. I've mentioned a few minutes ago. We've already got some roads and sidewalks getting covered in the Cincinnati area at this point. Here's the big picture view. Zoom it out. Kind of a quirky setup, I suppose. So you've got this clipper. You can see how fast it's diving south and east. Again, it's going to be out of here by 12:30, 1 o'clock. And then we'll get a break for the rest of the afternoon. But it's moving off to the south and east at a pretty good clip. At the same time, you've got this warm front moving in from the west. And as that's moving in, it's basically putting the freezing line right on top of us. So that freezing line goes right through the northeastern part of the area, I should say. So if you're on the cold side of that line, obviously you're seeing mainly snow. If you're right on that line, you're seeing that mix or even just plain rain. So as we go through the afternoon, that warm front will keep sliding eastward as the clipper slide southeastward. And that's the reason why many of us, despite the wintry mix we see now, are going to be heading for the upper 30s later on today. So this is a very short-term issue, especially if you don't see much in the way of accumulations. And again, a lot of you won't. It's just while that snow is falling, while that sleet is falling, there might be a couple of trouble spots to develop. So the warm front moves through this afternoon, pushing us into the upper 30s, near 40. There could be a little bit of melting of the bigger snowpack this afternoon. Not a ton, but some. We'll take what we can get. And then we turn our attention to the kind of reinforcing cold fronts back to back up to our north and west. So you see that first cold front between Omaha and Chicago. And even further north of that, there's this secondary front, kind of another reinforcing front that stretches from the Twin Cities out towards Green Bay, Wisconsin. And as we go through this afternoon and especially this evening, both of those fronts, both the initial one and the reinforcing one, will dive into our area from the north, go south. And as those dive in, we may get a bit of a moisture fetch off Lake Michigan to bring back more of those snow showers as we head into tonight. So two pieces to this puzzle that we're going to be dealing with over the next 24 hours. Both of them minor, but still enough to maybe cause a few issues here or there. You see Wavy giving us updates on some ice pellets in New Albany. So I think here in Louisville, we'll see that mixture of freezing rain and sleet over the next hour or so. Conversely, further north and east in Oldham County, it's mainly snow up towards Crestwood. Live look at the Ohio. It was really pronounced yesterday, that ice was, right? Not quite as pronounced today, but you can definitely still see that ice is flowing down the Ohio. 30 is our current temperature here in the city. So we're going to be right on that line of seeing freezing rain versus just plain rain and maybe a few sleet pellets mixed in. That wind out of the southwest, advance of that warm front, going to push us into the upper 30s later on today. But when you look at the chances over the next 12 hours, you see those two peaks we're talking about, the one that's moving in now, that wintry mix. Then we get a little bit of a break from about 1 until 7. And then after 7 o'clock, we start to watch for those streamers, those lake effect snow showers, really, for all intents and purposes, that'll dive in from the north later on this evening, especially late this evening, 9, 10, 11 o'clock onward. So first round moving through now, then a break through the afternoon, and then that second chance for snow moves in later on tonight. I'll let you look at that timeline for a minute. We'll see who's watching us this morning. Hi, Noodlehead. Hope you're good. Clayton, hello, hello. Weather Geek, give it a shout out to Brian. He's enjoying, maybe he's enjoying the ice cream from Weather Person's Day yesterday. Hey, I'm here. Surprise, surprise. Hi, Blue. Hope you're good. Michael, doing good. Tim, hello. Good morning. Shonda, hello. Good morning. Need the sunshine in Hart County. Well, we'll get a good bit of sunshine. Not today. I think we'll see some sunshine this weekend, especially tomorrow. There'll be more breaks in the clouds tomorrow. Let's see. In Cincinnati, all snow. Appreciate that. Eric's got sleet up in Salem. That checks out. Thanks. Definitely sleet in Daisy Hill. Very loud on the skylights, I bet. 33 and cloudy in Cub Run. Hello, Crispy. How we doing? Shannon, E-Town, snow or mix? A mix, if anything. Some of this, or most of this precipitation may just barely miss E-Town to the north and east. If you do see anything over the next couple of hours, it would be that mix for you guys. And it won't amount to much. I'll show you the map here in a second. Morning, Allison. Hello. Anna, how are we? Hi, Angela. Good to see you. Chris, let's just finish all this, get all this ice taken care of, and then we can have an all snow event. We'll have all snow later on tonight, I believe. Won't be much, but it'll be something. Hello, Amy. Hope you're good up there in Henry County. All right, so we'll mention the winter weather advisory. It kind of gives you a good idea of where we may see some accumulations through the rest of today. The advisory goes until 5 o'clock, so this is really focused on what's moving through now. There's no winter weather advisory as of yet for the snow showers tonight. This is focused on what's happening as we speak. So you notice that advisory covers a handful of counties in our area. Jefferson County, Indiana, not Kentucky, Indiana. Trimble, Carroll, Henry, and Franklin counties in Kentucky. So U5, U5 counties are under that advisory until 5 p.m. And that's really the zone where we're looking at perhaps some light accumulations. I don't think it's going to amount to much, but it could be enough for maybe a few new slick spots that may try to develop. Here's Futurecast. This is our in-house model we have, and it's doing a decent job showing the general idea of most of the precipitation staying to the north and east, mainly the northeastern sections of wave country getting in on this. Mainly snow for those of you in that advisory zone. And then kind of here in the middle, including Louisville, up towards Salem, Jeffersonville, the Knobs, maybe down towards Bardstown, we'll see that mix move through over the next 3 hours. All right. Get past that, 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're good. We're good for that time frame. Cloudy, still a little cool, but we should be inching above freezing in most spots by the afternoon. And here comes the second round later this evening. This is 8 o'clock. You can see just barely some of those snow showers starting to creep in from the north. And again, this kind of a moisture fetch, similar to, I think it was last Saturday where we had that snow globe effect. That's thanks to that moisture that's being fed off of Lake Michigan, pushing southward, diving southward. That's giving us at least a few snow showers tonight, mainly after 7 o'clock. Here's 8 o'clock. First, those snow showers moving in. And then you see more of those snow showers continue to push through late this evening, diving south like so. Now, not everybody will see these snow showers tonight either. So yes, there's a possibility that some of you do not see anything today. You see nothing moving through now. You see nothing moving through tonight. Those of you that get impacted both times could get a decent little accumulation out of this. Not huge, not a winter storm, but at least enough to be an added nuisance. How about that? Here's midnight. Snow shower still sliding through. But by the time you see me on sunrise tomorrow morning, we should be quiet. Perhaps a few flurries flying around. That's all. I think most of the action is done by the time you wake up on Saturday. So here's the updated snow map. This is for what's moving through now. And we mentioned those of you in that advisory. So Madison, Carrollton, Bedford, Newcastle, Eminence, Frankfort. That's where we might get close to 1 inch of snow with this first round moving through now. Everybody else will likely not see much in the way of accumulations. Perhaps a little bit of a coating for Salem, for the Knobs, for the Metro, maybe down towards Bardstown. But it would probably just be an extra little dusting of snow and sleet in that area. E-Town, Litchfield, Hardinsburg, Jasper, Marengo, Mumfordville, you guys probably aren't going to see anything out of this. So if we get any accumulations in our area, it would be in this little corridor right here. And you notice the even higher snow totals are up towards northern Kentucky and into Ohio. So that's for what's moving through now. Most roads should hold up just fine. We'll just have to babysit those of you up towards the I-71 corridor that may have a couple slick spots develop, but most roads should just stay fine or stay as they are. This is for tonight. This is for overnight tonight and into the early part of the day on Saturday. This is more straightforward, just kind of broad brush the entire area, maybe picking up a few tenths of an inch of snow with those snow showers moving through tonight. Once again, could add a few new slick spots, but it shouldn't be a major problem. You just might have to be a little more cautious if you have to work a third shift tonight or if you're going to be out late on a Friday night. All right. So 2 minor little chances for wintry weather that we're tracking over the next 24 hours. And then as we head into the rest of the weekend, not bad. It's been worse. It's been worse. We'll go 27 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, so that's where I was talking about maybe a few more peaks of sun tomorrow. Still cold, though. Remember, we've got those back-to-back cold fronts really moving through. The initial one moving through this evening, the reinforcing one moving through overnight tonight, gives us the snow shower chance overnight, but it also sends those temperatures crashing. We'll be in the teens tomorrow morning, and we'll only recover to around 27 during the afternoon. There could be a few more festive flurries during the day on Saturday, especially in southern Indiana. So we'll watch that. It's only a 10-20% chance. But in general, tomorrow is relatively quiet, just cold. Sunday, I do believe will be back above freezing, 36. But models have been trending today to where we may see more clouds on Sunday. Dry. Any snow chances for now look to be northeast of us, back up into Ohio. I don't see a possibility, at least for now, of where those snow showers could clip us Sunday morning. So we'll watch that. But again, I think Sunday's looking pretty dry, but cloudy. Still warmer with a high of 36. So maybe a little more melting on Sunday, but it's still going to take a while to get all this mess completely gone. All right, here comes your 10-day. And you know what? I put in the evening 10-day because I'm so used to doing a stream in the evening. So let me swap that out real quick. Hang on. Here you go. So we'll still go with a high of 40 today in Louisville with that warm front moving in. I do think we'll get close to 40, maybe 39, somewhere in that ballpark. Then we're colder tomorrow. Perhaps a few flurries, especially early in the day. Won't amount to much. Sunday's looking drier, but cloudy. And then we get into next week, and hey, 40s and 50s are still there. 57 on Tuesday is the warmest day, no doubt. And then we still get into that more unsettled setup where we just kind of have these on again, off again rain chances Tuesday afternoon onward. It's just too early to get into the nitty gritty of which day looks wetter, which day looks colder, things like that. However, there will be periods of rain from time to time, starting Tuesday night, going into Wednesday, going into Thursday. And then as we get towards the end of the week, into Valentine's weekend, the colder air becomes more of a component. And the question is, do we start to see more of a transition to that wintry mix again, heading into next Friday and next weekend? As Brian explained yesterday, it is just way too early to get into the specifics of precipitation chances, let alone amounts or anything like that. I will tell you, looking at just the basic models, Euro and GFS primarily, just looking at them briefly today, they have been trending a wee bit drier into next weekend. I'm still not totally sold on that. There's going to be a lot of back and forth with just the coverage of precipitation into next week and next weekend especially. So for now, Tuesday onward, we're just going 30% chances across the board each day. That will be 30% rain chances Tuesday through Friday. And then we get into next weekend. If we do still have that precipitation around, it might be more of a mix as that colder air tries to come back into play. So there's really no major changes to the long-term outlook from what Brian talked about yesterday. And it's just going to take a while for us to really fine-tune and nail down how the second half of next week is going to play out into next weekend. I don't see, for now, a winter storm potential for Valentine's weekend. But we're also getting into that time of year where Arctic air is not as big of a factor as consistently like it was back in January. So it may be harder to give you guys a heads up of a winter storm coming in. I'm not wiping that off the table. I'm just saying based on where things are now, it would be just kind of more of that mix potential, kind of like we have this morning when you're talking about coverage and timing and impacts and things like that. Just got to wait and see how it plays out heading into late next week. and next weekend. But for now, we'll focus on the mix moving in at the moment. We'll focus on the snow showers tonight. And then we'll get a bit of a reprieve heading into the weekend. And Monday, too. I am looking forward to 57 on Tuesday, though. Who cares if it's raining? At least we'll be in the 50s, right? All right. Hope that all made sense. I know I do not explain things as eloquently, but hopefully it made sense. What questions do we have? What complaints do we have? What comments do we have? What reports do we have? Smallest sleet going on in Clarksville. Thank you, Nikki. Sounds right. Appreciate that. Again, the closer you are to 65, the more likely you'll see that sleet mix. Maybe some freezing rain in there too, but mainly sleet. New report out of Fincastle, which that's northeastern Jefferson County. So a few pellets starting to fly here in the city. Shonda's got nothing in Jeffersonville just yet. Good question, Jeff. I don't have the exact answer off the top of my head. What's the average date of our last accumulating snow for the season? I don't have that answer right in front of me or in the top of my mind, but we've had accumulating snow as late as early April, if not later than that. And again, I do not think winter is over. I think as we head into the end of February, beginning of March, we'll get another shot of cold air. We'll see what it comes with. So we're heading into a reprieve, I would say. Just got to watch today and watch next weekend too. Allison, Henry County doesn't want any more. Kids have only been in school one day the last 2 weeks. Yeah, a lot of you guys in these outlying areas have been stuck. Haven't been able to go to school. It's been a battle to get to work. I'm hopeful, especially next week, that we can get a ton of this snowpack out of here. Not all of it. It'll take a long time because everything's compacted. And you got that sleet that mixed in a lot of locations. Sleet takes longer to melt because it gets so compacted. But hopefully we can make some progress on melting the snowpack into next week. Let's see. Hi, Lynn. Bullitt County. Bullitt County, maybe a little bit of a mix in the next 2 to 3 hours. Sleet, mainly. It will not amount to much for you guys in Bullitt County. And then we'll see those snow showers move in this evening. Also won't amount to much. I think ½ inch at best with those snow showers tonight. Let's see. Sean, 57 on Tuesday should be shorts and t-shirt weather for work. Yeah, it'll feel like it, no doubt. Yeah, Adam, I surprised everybody today, didn't I? Glad you're here. Hello, Joel, ZK, how we doing? Hi, Ashley. Pretty sure I've been fired for not being able to get out all week. Hopefully not. Does this go away? Yeah, we kind of mentioned it. I think starting Monday, we'll get some really good melting. Will it all go away? Probably not. We'll get some good melting, though. Notice those temperatures, by the way, not just those highs Monday and Tuesday, but those lows Monday night and Tuesday night will stay above freezing, too. So even though you don't have the light of day Monday night and Tuesday night, you can still have some melting happening with those temperatures above freezing through the nights. Let's hope that holds. Adam, no snow in Bloomington. Not sad. Y'all can have it. We'll give it back to you, Adam. Yeah, you guys up in Bloomington will just have that sleet mainly. Noodlehead, very good question. This is something we are watching closely. Will we have flooding with this snow melt? It's fascinating because something very, very similar happened last year. We had that huge winter storm right at the beginning of January. We had several more smaller winter weather events through the rest of January into the first half of February. And then on Valentine's weekend, we had a significant rain event across the state, across the entire region, but especially Kentucky. And all of that melt that we had from all the snow in January, combined with that heavy rain we had Valentine's weekend last year, caused a major flooding event across Kentucky. We lost lives out of it. Do we see something like that on the horizon? It's possible, especially if we have a more soaking washout kind of a setup heading into next week. I don't see that now. That's not to say that'll change. It could. I just see more of a showery look to next week as opposed to a gully washer soaking heavy rain. We can handle just showers next week. But if we get one of those days that looks to be a complete soaking heavy rain event, then we're going to have some flooding issues develop. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. This is just a wait and see setup heading into next week. Not only with how much rain we get, but also if there's any kind of a wintry component heading into next weekend. I hope that made sense, Noodlehead. Forgive me if it didn't. Let's see. Yes, it will indeed feel like a heat wave. You see ice pellets or sleet up in Bedford. This adds up. Yeah, it will definitely feel like a heat wave for sure. Hi, Cameron. Could we see a severe threat towards Valentine's Day? I don't see one at this time. I will tell you, though, if we have more of a northern track with that setup next weekend, we may have some problems. I don't see it right now. None of the AI tools, none of the analogs are showing that at this point. But that, too, is something we'll just have to kind of figure out over the next week. Okay, good. Glad that made sense, Noodlehead. Thank you. Let's see. Hi, Gene, up in Scottsburg. Love the snow, but I'm over it. You know it's bad when all of you Bots fans are getting tired of it. Yikes. I don't blame you, though. Shonda, this is a fantastic analogy. Looks like someone emptied out a beanbag chair in Jeffersonville. You know, those beanbag chairs have all those little beads in them. So that's Shonda's way of saying there's a lot of sleet moving into Jeffersonville at the moment. So appreciate that, Shonda. That was funny. Good stuff. Yeah, Gary, I'm with you. Can't wait for that that Valentine's Day gift from the power companies. It's going to hurt. Mix of sleet and snow in Madison. Appreciate whoever sent in that MPing report. By the way, remember with MPing, MPING, it's a free app. You can download it on your phone and you can report what you're seeing at your house. That goes straight to the Weather Service, and we have it configured in our system so where we can get those reports ingested in here as well. And it helps us a ton. It helps us a ton, especially in these mixed precipitation type setups. Let me show you radar one more time, and then I got to get ready for the 11. There you go. So that sleet mix is starting to move into the city of Louisville. It's light, but it'll be enough to hear it and to pay attention to over the next couple of hours. So it looks like the battle line, if you will, stretches from Seymour through Scottsburg, through LaGrange, through Shelbyville. So this area is mainly that sleet mix, perhaps some freezing rain, mainly sleet. If you live on this side of the line, it's mainly snow. And again, this will be out of here by 12:30 or 1 o'clock today. It's not going to be an all-day thing. In fact, you can see the back edge of it up here towards Columbus, Indiana. So it's moving south and east at a pretty good clip. All right? Just be careful if you're heading out over the next little bit, especially if you see mainly snow, because we could get a few slick spots that develop in those spots that do see mainly snow here over the next couple of hours. Cameron, more big snows on the way? Possible. It's hard to say when, but it is very possible. Stay tuned. All right. I think we're good, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I got to run. If I missed your comment, I apologize. I got to get ready for the 11. Programming notes. As you know, the Olympics start today out in Milan. You can watch them, of course, on Wave and NBC. For today, our midday newscast at 11 will be on Wave. It will be on TV. But NBC starts their Olympic coverage at noon. But we will still be doing our newscast. You just got to go to the digital side of things. So our noon, 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. shows today and for the next couple of weeks will be online only. They'll be streaming only. So that starts today. The 11 a.m. still on TV, but the noon, the 3, and the 4 p.m. shows will all be streaming only starting today and going through the next couple of weeks as we get to enjoy the Winter Olympics from Italy. But of course, we'll still be here to give you the news, weather, info that you need. Just be online instead. All right, guys, that's it for now. Appreciate you tuning in. I will see you on TV on midday, and I'll be here this weekend as well. Take care. Stay safe. Talk soon. Bye.